kind of bring me to this, to my one of the topics I want to talk about. That I think, as a whole, that the black generation in general need to start doing more of. Next week on the 13th will be like the 3-year anniversary of Randall passing. And unfortunately, rest in peace and all that. Unfortunately, the reason behind it was said it was called suicide. So it had me thinking about just mental health in particular. I know it's been kind of a big, it seems like it's been like the flavor of the week lately, but as far as in the black community, to kind of piggyback on the whole men and what we bring to the table in general. Mm-hmm. How do you guys feel about just men and actually seeking mental health and seeking help with their mental health from day to day? Do you think that would help men be more active in the family?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, just in general, just to like do a third party or someone that you really trust, just to kind of talk stuff out. I mean, that could be a huge weight off your shoulders. I mean, just like, for example, when I had my issues with my wife, I mean, when I called E up like one day, because I had so much built up stuff that I just wanted to get on out. And once I finally talked to him about it, I felt so much better just because I've been in so much tension and stress and frustration. So,
but y'all don't talk about shit. Y'all need to start doing shit like that though. We all have issues that we talk about that we probably don't talk about each other too. We need to talk more of. Mm-hmm. Cause you just, what are we doing if we can't talk to each other as friends about whatever may be bothering you? Because like you said, you get to a point where you can't hold it in. It's gonna come out anyways, one way or another.
Right.
We need to, that's what I think that's another problem with men in general. We don't talk to each other about shit like that.
Right, it's not macho.
We need to stop. Exactly. We need to stop that shit.
We need to change that whole paradigm, that whole mindset somehow.
I know we all don't have good days. I don't. You know what I mean? So for me, I had to learn to be more vocal because I wasn't taught really to say what's on my mind. I did realize at an early age I was emotional. You know what I mean? I didn't know exactly where I wanted to go with that, but as I'm older now, I still feel like my childhood could have been a lot better for me to understand what I was kind of wanting out of life. It took me going to, I just saw a Thursday, and I go to a therapist every couple of weeks and just talk shit out about, why I am the way I am, where I'm at in my life right now. And I think it's helpful. I think in the black community, we don't do enough of that. There's always somebody telling you what you shouldn't do, keep it in the family, or you tripping, or you'll be alright, I'm gonna pray for you.
No, yeah. You know what I'm saying? All the time.
Look, man.
You get all the time.
I'll pray for you.
Yeah. In the black community, we all need mental health. All of us. And it's because we've been traumatized since the day we're brought into this world. I mean, our community is traumatized. We experience death on a whole nother spectrum than other people. We experience police brutality, murders, children, friends getting shot and killed. When I think one of my first friends died when I was probably 10 years old. Got shot in the head. So, how you shoot a 12-year-old in the head, first of all? Besides that, these are the things we absorb as children, and we don't even think that that's traumatic. Our community doesn't acknowledge that it's traumatic. Well, we think we're numb to it, but it trickles and turns into a whole lot of issues as we become adults. We never address these issues. When we look at like the school shootings and we hear about, they have a trauma team come in and talk to the kids. When we hear these conversations, we're like, what they need to talk to them for? Ain't nothing wrong with them. Somebody gets shot. Big deal.
Yeah.
No, that shit is a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
We just downplay it and suppress it so much that we don't realize that it affects us psychologically as we grow up. So we become desensitized to murder and death, and we turn the other cheek to it. But that's not how the human mind is supposed to operate. We're supposed to recognize death as in its highest form as emotional trauma. But we get sad when somebody died, but we don't get impacted by the fact that somebody got murdered. There's two different things. There's really two different things.
Yeah.
You got a person laying in the casket, which you're sad because you're going to miss them, but you're not really dealing with the issue that this person got murdered in their backyard. Like, that shit just happens every day.
Right.
It's not supposed to happen every day. Things that are not supposed to happen affect you long term. But we don't deal with it. We don't. So from that aspect, the fact that we're so expecting when we get pulled over for some shit to go bad from a police officer, that's trauma. That's emotional trauma. People, it's some. Not everybody is affected as harshly as others, but some people get sweaty, they get nervous, they make stupid mistakes and end up getting shot just because they're afraid. But because we're not addressing these mental issues within our community, we're perpetuating the situation. We're constantly putting ourselves in a situation where we feel like it's life or death, and it's just the way it is. It's not supposed to be like that. So I absolutely agree. I think it's for everybody. Every black person, at least in Chicago.
Yeah, as long as you live in the inner city, we all go through some type of PTSD.
Yeah, exactly. It's for PTSD.
I mean, the only difference between inner city PTSD and military PTSD is that for the military, you get a check.